And begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. And when you're ready, the roll call, please.
Councilmember De La Rosa?
Here.
Councilmember Ponce?
Here.
Councilmember Schickling?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem LaBelle?
Here.
Mayor Marshall?
Here. Are there any announcements or written communications?
City staff has received 42 written communications regarding mule deer. Copies have been distributed to City Council and are on file in the City Clerk's office.
Department head reports.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council members, and City staff. Jackie Cordero, Public Works Director. Public Works has been really busy, as you probably all noticed this past weekend. The Public Works crew cleaned up Pebbly Beach prior to the rains. It helped out tremendously. If we wouldn't have done that, I think it would have been in worse shape. The crew also cleared out drains and cleared out streets throughout the weekend. Meanwhile, the last couple of weeks, the crew also assisted in taking the floats out of the harbor, working on the Green Pier clock renovations, and using the only Vector truck that we have in town for the Five Corners project. The crew is working on several renovation projects, and this will probably be going on for the next couple of months. The fuel dock roof, fuel dock restrooms, Casino Way benches, and the Green Pier women's restroom. Starting tomorrow, the crew will work with the community services team and place Christmas decorations throughout Front Street. Our goal is to have everything up by Thanksgiving, and then after Thanksgiving, the crew will work on the annual tree trimming around town and continue to do any preventative maintenance for any incoming storms. Any questions?
No, but the storm went very smoothly. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we got 3¼ inches of rain, and I completely agree. It went really smoothly. I really want to thank Jeffrey and Jamie for being out there this weekend with heavy equipment and clearing out all the areas. As you all know, the town, everything funnels from the hills down into town. So it was quite a tremendous feat. Thank you.
Okay, who's next? You know your order, come on.
He usually goes next, so I don't know
Okay,
why.
Matt, you're slipping.
Exactly right. Good evening, Mayor, members of the council, city staff, Kevin Schmidt, Harbor Master. So, yeah, as Jackie was saying, wet weather continues. We've got 2 days here. Tomorrow, too, looks like we're going to be dry. And then we got another one coming Thursday and Friday. The one on Thursday and Friday is kind of an interesting one because there's a low pressure system that goes either right behind the island or right over it, so the winds are going to be kind of variable for us. Winds are the big thing for the harbor, right? What direction the wind's coming from. So that's we're keeping an eye on that one for Thursday and Friday. And then it dries out again Saturday, and looks like, for next week, we should hopefully be dry. But the Weather Service is calling for cooler than normal temperatures, just so you know, for your Thanksgiving plans. So the Harbor Maintenance, they actually replaced one of the big projects. They did a great job getting it up as quick as we could. So out at the rescue dock, we have a ramp that goes down to the dock from a pier, and we call it the H-frame. There's this metal frame that when the south swell comes in, we can pull that ramp up so it's not pounding into the float and everything else. So a couple weeks ago, we had a south swell. We pulled the ramp, and we had an issue with the cross member that holds it started to bow. Not a good situation. So Phil, Joe, they were able to fabricate a really nice, even stronger H-frame out there. They got it pretty much all done today. Tomorrow they got to do the finishing touches on it. So I got to give them a big thumbs up for, making my blood pressure drop down a little bit lower. Work continues. We're still working on the procurement and the RFP for the Club Dinghy Dock project. So we're planning to try and get that all done before the boating season, the next boating season. So that's where we are with those. Numbers-wise, since, this is for the last 2 weeks, since our last meeting, we had 283 boats arrive. for a total of 1,842 mooring nights. Based on mooring nights, that's about almost a 4% increase from 24, which is kind of interesting since we had some bad weather for the last week or so. And rest of the stats, we had 1 Baywatch assist, 3 citations, 4 emergency medicals, 7 enforcements, and 226 public service calls, excuse me. One thing I will mention, we had the Quantum in town last week, so that was a pretty good sized ship, and this is their first time in, so they had 4,600 passengers on it, and so, we dealt with the getting in and out, in into town and out of town, the same as like the Firenze and all that. They had one little issue at the ship that caused a little bit of delay, so we had a little bit of a backup from 2 to 4. But I think we got it all figured out. We met with them today, so I think when they come back on the 2nd, we'll have that all taken care of.
Excellent.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City staff. So far in the month of November, we've had 148 observations made by the deputies, 57 calls for service. We had 6 arrests, 1 for domestic violence, 2 for battering on a peace officer, 1 for drunken public, 1 for DUI, and 1 for battery. We tentatively have planned for the Santa Claus flyover with Maverick on December 20th. So a little different from usual, but it'll be a Saturday this year, and that way the kids will be out of school, and hopefully we can get a bigger crowd than in the past few years. We have 2 deputies starting this Sunday. One's out of Pico Rivera Station and one's out of Industry Station, both Spanish speakers, and they'll both be working the night shift. And that's about all I have. Any questions?
On the DUI, did we impound the vehicle?
It was out of a traffic collision, and the vehicle wasn't parked illegally, so no, we did not.
Okay, that's kind of disappointing. Okay, but thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Good evening, Bob Green. I'll give you an update on some capital projects. 5 Corners, we're going to be pouring a lot of concrete within the next couple of weeks. We got, of course, the holiday in the middle of that and rain, trying to jump around that. But that's in preparation to pave Tremont Road on December 9th and 10th, so on those 2 days. So you'll see a lot of concrete, a lot of asphalt happening. Also, we're relocating the pressure reducing valve that's in the middle of the intersection that comes from the high pressure line from the Baker tanks. We're doing that within coordination with SCE. That's over there, that big excavation that's at the park entrance there. And that's that big concrete vault that you see on the side of the road here next to City Hall. That's going to go in that hole, and that's going to house that very important piece of equipment that controls the pressure zones for the whole lower flats area here. We're also working on 206 East Whitley. We've moving back in to get that project restarted back up and get that retaining wall in so we can finish that project up. Hiawatha, we've got the pipe material in, and we're engaging with Jordan to get that pipe in that sinkhole that we had. Realize when we go in there to do that, and we'll firm up a date when that actually happens, that we'll actually have to close that road for a period of about a week, so you'll have to come in either end, because that's going to be a deep excavation where we're launching pieces of pipe in each direction that will take the place of the concrete pipe. So it's actually a structural liner that we're launching, about 100 feet of that. We've also got the Mole RFQ out on the street, so that's for the terminal, for phase 2 of the terminal. Great work by the whole team. Kudos to Devin Hart taking point person to get all the documents together and working with Metro to make sure that happens, and then also our consultant, Mark Passavere, just really detailed integration of all the documents so that when we do get proposals from that progressive design build teams, we expect those to be very complete and be able to move us all the way from a design through construction. So it really takes all that information that we've built over years of time and puts that in front of all these teams so that they can take that information and know where we're heading without restarting that. So we're feeling that we're a far way along, along in that project. This will get it ramped up, and then we'll start that design. Any questions for me?
Great. Well, lots
Just
going on.
Bob, real quick, you mentioned paving on Tremont the 9th and 10th of December, but the week before, we're going to
Yes.
have that street closed too, right?
Thank you, Dave.
Matt Baker's coming out.
Good evening, Council. Matt Baker, Finance Director. I just want to provide you with a quick visitor-driven revenue update. So we have revenues in through September. Bit of a mixed bag. TOT was down 5.6% over the 3 months. We still have a few late payments from September trickling in, but I don't expect that number to move by that much. But from a budget standpoint, we sort of anticipated this, and so we're right kind of in line with budget estimates. We had TOT estimated to be down 5% from last year's actuals, and so 5.6 is right around where we thought we'd be. Sales tax was up for the quarter, 8%, but ad tax and use fees are down slightly. Cross-channel wharfage for the month of August was up 8%. But September was, from a passenger count, down 4.5%, but we did have the rate increase, so the revenue number was up 24%. Again, that's the $2 on departing tickets increase went into effect on September 2nd. But if you're looking for some positive news, nightly moorings for the month of October were up 19%. So if it felt busy in the month of October, at least the early numbers support that. So if there's something to look forward to there. Other than that, we had auditors on site, I think, since the last meeting. That's progressing well. We'll be presenting the audited financials likely, though, in that meeting in January.
Excellent. Thank you. Any questions? No, thank you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council. It looks like people got the date wrong. Next Tuesday is the community dinner, not tonight. So if you came for that, it is next Tuesday night from 5 to 7 p.m. We will be feeding anybody who is hungry. We have seating up to 250 people. We're hoping to feed that many. It will be held at the Rancho Catalina, home of the Catalina Horseback Adventures. He will be providing some entertainment, some music there. Hopefully the whole community will come out, enjoy a meal together. The way this community has come together, especially during these hard times, we want to reward the community for that. So please come out and join. We would like it if you would give us a call to let us know that you're coming so we can kind of see where the numbers are at. And you can do that here at the City of Avalon. We'd like to thank BBK, Lions Club, Rotary, Cat Bev, all of them for being big donors to this. So we really appreciate that. Big shout out to Avalon Smokehouse. Santiago, him and his crew are going to do the cooking, for the 250 people. We have some volunteers now. We would like some more volunteers. If you'd like to come volunteer and serve your community, we would love you to come, and we'll feed you as well. As well as the community dinner, we are also giving away 40 turkeys to those who are in need, and we will be doing that the next day at the food bank from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. So if you know somebody who can use a good, warm Thanksgiving dinner and a turkey, please let us know, and we'll put them on the list to pick up at the food bank. Since the government shut down, the city has partnered with the food bank to double its output. Where the food bank was opening once every 2 weeks, we have opened it weekly to the public from 4:30 to 6 on Wednesdays at the Avalon Community Church. We are currently serving 52 to 57 families each time, compared to where it was at, the number was 25 to 30. We also utilize the space for donations for the food pantry, and when we get perishables, which is almost daily, from Vons. We utilize the Hungry app, and when we get salads, vegetables, bread, and milk, meat, etc., into the hands of those who need it within minutes of receiving it after we post it on the Hungry app. So it's good to see that the Hungry app is useful, and people are utilizing it, and it's not just us. One of the people that's been really interested in it is the Island Company. They're seeing its use as a way to be able to provide for their employees. So after a large wedding or something like that, and there's all this food left over, they're seeing an opportunity to now put that out and create their own village and give that out to their employees. And we're hoping to bring more businesses on and see the Hungry app as that type of advantage, and so no food goes wasted. We will be bringing John and his organization, the ones that you met at the last meeting. They will be coming to the island for a larger rollout and helping local companies on board. The Assistant City Manager, Jocelyn, she'll give you a little bit more information on that when she gives her report. We are also utilizing the food bank to survey those who are experiencing being unhoused in Avalon. We will be putting a committee together along with Janaea Woodyard from Social Services at Catalina Island Health, Tricia Edwards, who works directly with the unhoused community right now through us. We would like to bring in the Sheriff's Department, the Fire Department, and the pastors at the churches. And I invite any of the City Council to be part of it as well. We'll be creating a process in which we can lead them to the resources they need to better themselves and to become more active community members. I'll be pushing that date out just after Thanksgiving. We have Shop Catalina coming up December 6th. That is when I'm pretty sure Jim will mention something that tonight about the Shop Catalina for the local, to encourage you to shop at home. And that will be starting at 12 p.m. till 8 p.m. We will then, at 4 p.m., the Avalon Community Theater will be doing a preview of their show. At 4:15, CKV and Play Preschool are teaming up for a beautiful rendition of our favorite holiday classics. And then we'll have a performance right after them by Dance Tech from our local dance group through the city. And then at 4:45, the Jingle Singers will be on stage and also around town singing, with 5 p.m. being the Christmas tree lighting, Santa coming to town, and with pictures of Santa on Wrigley Stage right after the tree lighting. There will be photos with Santa, but we are asking that people would bring a non-perishable food item to donate when taking a photo with Santa. Last but not least, we have our co-ed Avalon Youth Soccer is taking its signups right now. The evaluation dates will be December 14th. Games will start after the Christmas break, starting on January 11th, going through March 1st. Our age groups are TK through kinder, 1st and 2nd grade, 3rd and 5th grade boys and girls teams, 6th and 8th grade boys and girls teams. It's just $35 per player. So you can register online, like most people have learned to do now after having us being up about a year and a half with our new system. So we do appreciate people doing it online, but you can also still come in and register with us here at City Hall. Is there any questions?
No, lots going on.
Quick question for the turkey handout at the food bank. How is that going to work? Like first come, first serve?
No,
or do you have a
we're
list?
actually taking a list right now.
Okay.
We have 40 turkeys. We're somewhere in the range of about 25 right now that we have on the list. So we're looking for some nominations if people would like to do that, and then they can come pick it up at the food bank.
Perfect,
And
thank
we
you.
will be giving them a call next week before to remind them to come get their turkey. And then if no one comes to pick up their turkey, Look out on the Hungry app, and we'll be putting those turkeys out on that as well. All right?
Perfect, nice. Great.
Thank you.
Yes, excellent.
All right, good evening, Mayor and City Council. Jocelyn Francis, Assistant City Manager. So as Dave Hart mentioned, the Hungry app has been live now for several weeks here in the city of Avalon, and we're seeing a lot of folks sign up and participate either as a Hungry or a provider, and it's been really great and exciting to see. And I will definitely have some more statistics for you at the December meeting to show what impact we're having on our community with that application. John, the founder, CEO of the Hungry app, and his team were looking at dates in and around the tree lighting ceremony that first week in December, so we can have some more formal in-person public outreach, both for residents and individuals, as well as our business community. So we're super excited for that. If you are a business out there, a food service establishment, and you don't want to wait until December, by all means, come see Community Services. Reach out to me. We can do some virtual training with John. He's more than welcome to provide that service to our community. Yeah, so kudos to Community Services, really, on helping to get the word out there, partnering with Vons and the Food Pantry. Really a great program, and can't wait to see what it blossoms into. This Friday, just a reminder, we have vehicle hearings here in the council chambers starting at 8 a.m. In addition to vehicle hearings, we also have an administrative hearing for a vicious dog complaint. So just want to let you all know and be aware of that. Code enforcement has been very busy this month so far, 90 citations, 20 red tags, 30 animal control related calls for service, 23 emergency calls. In the next week or two, we're going to be shipping another 7 or so vehicles off the island from our tow yard. So that's really great. It's been a lot of work. And then Carolyn, she's processed 140 subsidies for the month of October. So she's been really super busy, and I thought I would share that statistic with you guys. And then finally, last week, I was approached by a company over town who procured quite a few Olin's cubes, and they have been implementing them in different parts of Southern California. They have 2 extra. And they're willing to work with the city and maybe some local nonprofits here to procure an additional 2 cubes at a significantly reduced cost, which is amazing. So I have some requests for information from Olin's, again, working with some local nonprofits, so I'll be sharing more with you next month on that, but that's really great news as well. So thank you.
I'm wondering why they are available. Is that because other people aren't using them anymore, or they just have?
They are still in the box, haven't
okay.
been opened, they're brand new. They had a program, they implemented them at different stores in Southern California, and they just have 2 extra.
Oh, excellent.
And
Okay.
they just don't want them to sit and go to waste.
Yeah,
so,
no, excellent. Go to waste. That's good. Okay, thank you. Good.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Kelly Rebuffo, Contract Planner. I just wanted to remind everyone that tomorrow night at 5 p.m. we will have the regularly scheduled Planning Commission meeting here in the council chambers. We have 5 transient rental licenses on the agenda for consideration. 3 of them are in Hamilton Cove, 1 of them is in the Flats, and 1 of them is south of Beacon Street on Metropole. There are 2 other items that were advertised for the agenda that staff will be requesting be continued to the December regular meeting. One is the 2026 annual growth policy, and the other is the proposal or project for a new hotel at 305 Beacon Street. We will be holding the December 17th regular Planning Commission meeting, so more transient rental licenses also anticipated to be on that agenda. Any questions?
Thank you, Kelly. Manager?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. A couple things tonight I'm going to cover for the fire chief, who is off island with a couple of members of his staff. They are visiting and testing and driving, doing a pump test and driving our new fire truck. Thank you again, Southern California Edison. This is this vehicle. They sent photographs today. I mean, they're much further along than I thought. It's looks like it's ready to go. So as long as it passes all these tests, I think we'll have an announcement when it's going to be here on island, and we can get everybody out there to take a look at it. So that's very exciting. But fire department for October had 94 total calls, 34 medical, 60 other. Avalon Fire Department, in conjunction with Catalina Island Health, assisted them to perform a hospital evacuation test run through in October. Everything went well. It sounds like it was a positive experience. They had a debrief afterwards, discussed pros and cons, anything they can change going forward. So the chief was excited about that went so well. And finally, the fire department has instituted the Cortico Wellness app for its members. This is a wellness app that the city is going to participate citywide. We're rolling it out first in the fire department. They are using it right now, and shortly we'll be rolling it out to all employees. It'll be available to all employees, and we'll carve out some time coming up in a meeting for council to roll it out so you can see what it looks like and get everybody have access to that app. So that'll be something starting first of the year. It'll be fully integrated with all city staff. And then finally, glad we have so many people here tonight, because if you Frank Menudo's last day with the Avalon Fire Department is November 25th. So if you get a chance to see Frank between now and then, make sure you thank him for all his years of service here. He'll be missed, but these are, Frank is happy about his retirement, so, we're happy for him. But so another week or so for Frank. I had an opportunity to attend the Love Catalina's annual marketing meeting last week, put on by Jim Lujan and Love Catalina. It was some very interesting presentations, mainly on AI. It's here. It's not going away. It's, everybody better adapt, or you got to figure it out. So thank you to Jim and your staff. It was very, very interesting, and I appreciated the invite to participate in the panel that I was able to sit on at that meeting. Bob Greenlaw mentioned, I just want to give a quick shout out to RFQ for the mole project. I mean, this is as significant a project as we're going to have here in quite some time. It's a $20+ million project. It's out in the world, so we're going to start getting that feedback. It is here. That's very exciting to see this project finally become a reality. And again, thank you to Bob Greenlaw, Devin Hart, Mark Pasveer for all their work they put in on that project. That's it.
And do we have a city attorney?
Yes, you do, but I have no reports tonight, Mayor and Council.
Okay, thank you. Council member reports.
Can I go first?
Yes.
I want to start off with thanking the Express for their professionalism with my issue, but I'd also like to bring my issue attention to the community. I was making boat reservations and found out that I could not make a return trip back to the island because I didn't have any more tickets. Somewhere in March of 2024, I double booked myself for the same day with the new system. And since I didn't show up for the second one, that was canceled, and that book expired. So I'm fine eating it. But I would like for the Express to find a way of better enabling the citizens of Avalon to know how many books or how many tickets are in a book, in your book. Because we had the hard copies, those were easy to see that, because I would never end up on an odd trip. But I will say that Irma in the office was great when she investigated, but she went back through my whole ticket thing. But yeah, it's just, I just want everybody in Avalon to be aware of when you're booking what you have left. My big mistake is I went ahead and bought a ticket book before one was expired. So I normally wait until I've used them all, and then go get a new one. But yeah, it just when you find out that and then of course it happens beginning of November when my commuter card expired in October. So then I have to make the little trip here to get that. So, but yeah, it's just be wary of where you're at in your commuter books. But I really would like the Express to work on a better way of us being able to see where we're at. I mean, you can go in there and look, but they put all this other stuff with it that it's really hard to understand which book it's coming off of. So. And was able to go visit the Quantum of the Sea with the harbor master, Jim, the mayor, and the mayor pro tem. And that ship is gorgeous.
Okay.
I can go next. I went actually to my first Rotary meeting as a guest. I was there with Mike Lansing for the Boys and Girls Club, and first I want to say you guys do such amazing work, so it was really nice to hear everything you guys are doing and behind the scenes. You guys have a great group as well, of course. But it was also just really nice to get a reassurance of this journey we're taking on with the Boys and Girls Club, because it's going to not only serve all of our kids, it's going to be able to serve the underserved. So that's a lot of our middle school and especially our high school kids. And I think what excites me the most is not only are we bringing exposure, but we're gonna be able to be with these kids every step of the way. So all the uncertainties they might have, not only themselves, but also their parents. A lot of them are first-gen kids going to college or a trade school. So a lot of the parents don't know any of this paperwork, and it's very overwhelming. So I'm very excited that we're able to keep, educating the community of what this program can bring.
Awesome. Good job. I love hearing that.
Me too.
I really wanted to go to the cruise ship thing, but unfortunately I had to be over town, so bummer in the summer. But I did go to the California Gateway Cities meeting in Lisa's stead. A very interesting group of people and great stuff going on. Unfortunately, a lot of it does not relate to this town, but it really, really is a good feeling to see what the movers and shakers in California, and especially that corridor of cities, are doing. And they talked about the fan zones and stuff for the Olympics, and I know that Dave Hart was interested in getting on board with all that kind of stuff, and hopefully we can make something happen in that regard. So anytime, Lisa, you can't go, I'll go, because they're a great group.
Yeah. It's a really good group. We're fortunate to, I think, work with a lot of them, because even if the happenings don't apply to us directly, there may be something that can be similar, which I think we've picked up a lot on over the last few years especially. The fun zones are a fun thing. There's actually quarterly meetings that the county is putting on, the 88 for 28. So any one of us is welcome to attend those. Dave and I actually attended one, I think it's been almost 6 months now probably, but they're every 3 months and they're on different topics. So the biggest one that I'll mention tonight, again, that I mentioned previously, was making sure that your business is a registered business with LA County. Being a registered business with LA County means that you then can be added to the list as a registered vendor for the Olympics easily. It also allows for in emergency situations, if you're registered as a business with LA County, you also then don't have to go through the paperwork hassle in the event of an emergency. It was helpful for a lot of businesses during the fire that happened previously on Island. All of those places where the firefighters ate that were county firefighters, they were able to become vendors with the county and then get paid easily that way through that system. So they did say that it is a little bit of a challenging system to do on your own. If you would like us to, they were willing to have someone from the county come over for the day and hold a workshop to be able to do that. So it may be something that some of you may be interested in. A few things, I missed the last meeting, so thank you guys for holding it down while I was gone. Had a conference in Vegas with Fair Harbor, who is the ticketing system for the Express and a number of other companies on the island. We've actually had the opportunity to sit down with the CEO of Fair Harbor and explain to him just how important changes to the membership portion, which is what the Express uses, are. It's on the long list of development. I don't know what that date means, but hopefully as we keep pushing them to do that, they will provide better usage of the membership and features that they have. I wanted to remind everyone of the upcoming Mount Ada Open House, which is going to be Tuesday, December 2nd from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's being put on by the Catalina Island Foundation and the Catalina Island Company, and it's benefiting the Catalina Island Women's Forum and Rotary. It's $10 per person. The minimum age to participate is 14 and up. I do want to thank the city as well, who will be helping to sponsor rides on circuit for free. You do need to use the code ADA, ADA, to be able to have the $2 ride be a free ride, and the first 400 rides are free for that evening to utilize for that. The other fun part of that, which I'm hoping you guys will come for and hoping that council can attend the first couple hours, because it is on it's not on council night. We're not having council.
Right.
Yes, I love it. Sorry, not that I don't want to have council, but I wanted to attend the whole event. There will be some awarding of some grants at this event as well, which will greatly benefit the city, and I think all of you will hopefully be very excited to learn about. So please make sure to come, even if it's just for a bit or for the entire event. And then attended the Quantum of the Seas plaque ceremony. It was fantastic. The ship was beautiful. The staff was very kind. I want to give a special shout out to Harbor Master Kevin Schmidt for managing the fun and excitement of new tender service and new cruise ship meeting for the first time on the day of. You handled it beautifully. You jumped on the phone and were literally up and down the entire time that we were getting to tour the ship with the crew. Thank you for doing that and for making those connections with everybody on the port side and on the ship. We normally would have had a connectivity meeting call this past Wednesday, which was canceled for the Island Connectivity Group. But some really exciting news. We have a draft resolution for the California Public Utilities Commission for the entire $37 million project for subsea fiber. Thanks to Lance, who is in the audience right now, and I'm getting a little emotional because it's been 5 years. The draft resolution is for a $37 million project to have 2 lines of subsea fiber coming to and from the mainland to the island. The agenda will hopefully be put out on December 8th, and the meeting would be December 18th up in Sacramento. We're hoping it'll end up on the consent calendar and be very quickly and easily approved. There's not a lot of pushback on this, and this will hopefully mean that we will see high-speed internet service, phone service, coverage for everyone out here with 2 sets of lines that will also provide a great deal of security and safety for the island as well. I'm so excited. Wow. So good job. Hoping we'll give some more information at the December 16th meeting to be able to let you know if you want to provide a public comment for this meeting, how you can do that. But we just need to make sure it gets on the agenda first on the 8th, so that's the next step. But it's been a lot, and I want to thank so many people, but our legislators for being supportive. Tim Kilpinski, who was previously with the Conservancy when this started and got this project going in the first place with everybody. Cindy Cassidy, who also was working on this. Jim Lute-Johan, who has been tireless in his efforts. And then our legislators across the board, the state, federal, and local legislators, and their teams have been unbelievably helpful and supportive in this. The school and everyone else who's doing it too, so just exciting. Attended the Love Catalina marketing meeting as well. AI all over the place. Let's figure that out. And then we'll be attending the Gateway Cities COG meeting on December 3rd. And then we'll also be attending the December 9th open house they're having at the Albert Robles Center for Water Recycling and Environmental Learning. They're going to be doing that in the city of Pico Rivera. And so heading out to see that so that I can get some more information and learn more to try to move that type of project forward. So.
Great.
That's what I got.
That sounded
Sorry.
like a Grammys presentation when you were talking
And thank you,
about
Mom and
that.
Dad.
That was awesome.
I'm going to add one more thing because she mentioned the Women's Forum, which then triggered me that we are holding our alumni panel next Monday, the 24th. It is open to the public. We're going to have 8 alumni speak. So we are doing, our mentees are now freshmen to seniors, so we have a lot of girls, about 40 to 50. But it is open to the public. Would love for you guys to join if you can. If you have any extra words of advice for the girls or encouragement, please. It'll be at the museum at 5:30.
Okay, thank you. Well, I attended what a lot of those kids, the other council members have, so we're just going to move on to presentations. Number 1.
So number 1, Brenda, if Brenda's out there, Matt, if you can bring her up.
Good evening.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Okay, we can't hear you, Brenda. I'm not sure if you're on mute or if we have it turned down.
Can you hear me now? I'm not sure.
1 minute, we're working on it on our end.
Okay, hold on.
While they're working on it, congratulations to the World Series champion Dodgers.
Oh, that's old news.
Never, it's never going to get old.
Yes,
Never old. It's not old until next year.
Brenda, can you just speak a little louder, I think? 'Cause we just need to speak a little louder.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I might have to yell a little then. It's what it seems like. So I can go ahead and get started then? Yes? I just
Go
want to
ahead.
make sure you're able to hear me. Awesome. So good evening, Mayor, members of City Council, and members of the public. Thank you for having me here today. I wanted to make sure that I chimed in and kind of give you a brief information just of what's going on with the California Department of Insurance. I'm one of the outreach analysts, and I am the liaison here. So any issues pertaining to insurance, I am the person who can direct you to the right and appropriate. And just to give you a little overview of what our department does is essentially we regulate the insurance industry. We protect consumers from fraud and abuse. We also set the standards for agents and broker licensing. We ensure that insurers are maintaining solvency insurance, they're able to pay out. We also perform market conduct reviews of the insurance companies, just ensuring that they're within regulation. We also investigate and prosecute insurance fraud. So if you suspect of any insurance fraud or a scam, we highly encourage you to report that to our department so that we can take a look at that. Also, if you have insurance policies, I know most of you have not read it from front to back or the exclusions. Also, feel free to use our department as a resource to help you with identifying and really understanding what your coverages are and what your exclusions are so that you can make a proper decision in terms of protecting your financial assets. Now, are you able to see my screen?
See your face.
Can you see my screen? Let me see if I can share. Am I able to get some sharing, screen sharing? So that's just a brief overview of just who we are as a department while I get sharing capabilities. Hopefully I do have a presentation I'd like you to see. I'll go ahead and move over with what as a department we have or the commissioner has worked on to ensure insurance companies are staying and continuing to underwrite and protect our consumers. So he introduced, in collaboration with Cal OES, Governor Newsom's Office of Emergency and Cal Fire, he introduced what he refers to the sustainable insurance strategy. Essentially, this strategy is intended to modernize our insurance industry, also make insurance accessible, and therefore making it resilient while continuing to protect consumers. Now, within the sustainable insurance strategy, there is what we call and refer to the Safer from Wildfires framework. Now, this has 3 levels of protection, and it is intended to protect the structure, your immediate surroundings, and community-wide. Now, there are specific steps that should be taken in order to accomplish this, and you're also able to become a FireWise community. And essentially what that does is you take proper measures. There's about 10 steps integrated into this where you can take those measures and as a community become FireWise, allowing you to become really insurable and receive better rates. And that's essentially the goal right now. We cannot tackle affordability until we're really tackling availability. So that's kind of where the focus has been. On the positive note, we have been receiving some positive feedback with insurance companies coming back to the market. Now, we also have what we call the catastrophe model. It's really a catastrophe model is not new. There's other states that actually use this tool. We're one of the only states that hadn't allowed this tool to be utilized. But essentially, number one, you're allowed to now ask your insurance company for your risk score. Once you identify your risk score, you're able to make proper mitigations to go ahead and get a better rate. The other thing is the catastrophe model is really just a risk management tool that calculates and estimates the losses that could be sustained during a catastrophic event, such as a fire, a flood. And really what insurance companies will be able to do is use this risk management tool and be able to properly assess, because they can no longer really depend on historical data to be able to address these concerns and properly rate these coverages, partly which is why they had stepped back. With this tool, they're going to be able to also take into account the mitigation that you as a community member is doing. So therefore, it allow you to have access to better rates. Part of the caveat for insurance companies to be able to use this risk management tool is that they are going to be expected to maintain an 85% of their market share coverages in high-risk fire areas. So that means that they are going to have to maintain the insurability in those areas. So the goal is to remove a lot of our consumers out of the California FAIR Plan, which is the insurance of last resort, back into the traditional market where they can have full and proper coverages. Now, in terms of the FireWise communities, essentially, in order to become a FireWise community, you do have to begin with a minimum of 8 dwelling units, and you can't be any bigger than 2,500 units. And when you maintain within these unit numbers, you can create an action plan, start building together safer, and essentially you mitigate as a community. When you do this, you are also eligible for grants and funding that would allow you to mitigate your home as a community. You do have to apply through this. CAL FIRE is where you want to start. There's a website. It's readyforwildfire.org. Essentially, they'll have information that can help you with home assessment tools and really just how to go about doing that. Now, as I'm wrapping up, I just wanted to cover just some of the legislative actions that was currently signed by the governor, and most recent, just about a month ago. We have a bill, AB 888, and pretty much is the California Safe Homes Act. Essentially, this is going to be a tax-free home with a cap of $350,000 without providing a detailed inventory list. And that will allow you to get more, whereas previously you were only allowed to get a 30% of that. So that's the policies currently that we've had, just some. In the sake of time, do sign up to our consumer alerts. I was trying to really share this so you can see it. Oh, there it is.
You should have hosts, yeah. You should be able to do it now.
Yes. Here you go. So you didn't see all the beautiful other pictures, but you do. This is our consumer alert. So please do scan and sign up to receive just the latest and greatest. We do offer presentations that go more in depth into what we're doing. So feel free to reach out. And then lastly, this is our contact. So if you or there's an organization that wants to become a partner with us, they can go ahead and scan that one. If you would like presentations, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, if you have issues specifically to your insurance policy, please call the 1-800-927-4357 because you have to give permission and they need your authorization for us to be able to even touch your case. So do you have any questions?
There was something about the mitigation. You said something between 8 to 2,500 buildings or whatever.
Yes.
So how many buildings do we have in Avalon? 2,500? I mean, we fall within that.
I think we'd fall within that.
Okay. All righty.
So if you as a city wanted to become just as entire community fire-wise, go through the proper, we can definitely talk about what that entails.
I think Chief Allegria has already been working on some of that. One of the biggest things that I think, especially for residential areas in that FireWise program, is the requirement, I believe, Brenda, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a 5-foot clearance for brush or growth from your house or building structure to wherever it's grass or plants or anything else. And so most homes in Avalon are definitely not designed that way. So part of getting to that point would require some pretty massive changes on that front. Whether or not some of these grants might be able to help with some of that change could be interesting to see, but a lot of it's on private property. Yeah. So just trying to figure out kind of what that means, I think, is a big thing. Brenda, would you be able to send us a copy of your presentation that you were sharing? It didn't pop up on our screen, unfortunately, when you were sharing, so that we can at least share it with the public as well that way.
Absolutely. And then what you were referring to is the Assembly Bill 3074, and essentially any areas or communities that are in high fire area, risk areas, they're going to be required to give that 5-foot clearance. And so that's within our mitigation standards. I'll go ahead and also send some videos that we have back in 2018, Paradise fires. I don't know if you guys recall those, but they've implemented and rebuilt now using the Safer from Wildfire framework, doing that 5-foot clearance as well. And they've been able to be more insured too. So it's just something I'll go ahead and send that over to.
Are there any other questions of Brenda? Thank you very much.
Brenda, can you transfer host capabilities back to the city on that? Thank you.
Absolutely.
And next we have Tim Kopinski, Catalina Island Health.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City Manager. Tim Kopinski from Catalina Island Health. Dave stole my thunder. Is that going to work?
Yep, in a second.
All right, we're going to go through the whole thing. Nope. All right. Back on the slideshow. Thank you. Okay, so we got some feedback, and coming quarterly wasn't good enough, so we're going to start coming every other month. And some of this detail you might feel like you've seen before, but based on the feedback we're getting from the community, it seems like we need to go over some of these things again. But to start off, some interesting news. We've got a company that runs ambulance services in 5 of the southern counties of California. And they're certified in basic life support, advanced life support, critical care transport, The name of the company is Symbiosis, and they offered to do a water ambulance for Catalina. And we had a lot of the first responders, Baywatch, fire, county fire, out a few weeks ago to observe how would we load and offload patients on that. Based on the feedback we got from the first responders, the boat was modified, and we've seen videos of how they've moved patients now when they were docked on the mainland. And so tomorrow is going to be our first non-emergent, I was going to say it was going to be a dry run, but if you're doing it on the water, maybe it's not a dry run. So, okay. So we have a patient, a long-term care patient that has to go over for a couple of doctor's appointments, and we're going to use that person to do the dry run. They're ambulatory, it's not emergent, but we're just going to practice that whole service. And once we get onto the mainland, their ambulance is going to then take them to his appointments, move them around that day, bring them back to their boat, and then bring them over. But that boat will be qualified to do critical care transport, which means they could have infusions going on live while the boat's in motion with RNs and et cetera on the boat while it's moving. So it's a quality company. Our relationship with that company would be the same as it is with us and Mercy Air. It's strictly an emergency service that is available to us to move patients around. That's it. We're not involved with them at all financially. They will bill the insurance companies. They've got some neat things they've done, though, along the way. They got the only CHP certified ambulance for off-road rescues. They've also got this big trailer that does full x-rays, laboratory, and labs on the trailer, so they can take this thing to events and kind of treat people in a pre-hospital setting. Anyway, so they're very creative. We're looking forward to working with them. And again, tomorrow's our first test. Okay, here's the part that's going to be a little bit of a review. Just to recap for everybody, because there's a lot of, as I've talked to people before, and I talk about Measure C, Measure B, Measure H, and IGT, sometimes it can run together. So just as a recap, Measure C is the sales tax passed back in 2000 here in Avalon. It's a half-cent sales tax for operational support for the hospital. It generates about $750,000 a year. We'll come back to that in a minute. Measure H was what was passed back in 2020, and it's the passenger tax, the dollar per trip back and forth on the boats and all the other modes of transportation. And that generates about $2.25 million a year, and that is solely to be used and is monitored by a third party for the capital project of the new hospital. Then there's Measure B, which is an LA County property tax that was passed in about 15 years ago, and it's strictly to be used for EMS, trauma services, and I left off the bioterrorism because a vast majority of the funds go to LA County hospitals. That fund is now generating about $420 million a year, and they've been dispersing that money to EMS and trauma services support. In April of 2025, we were approved for $3 million, and then later on in July, when they got the increase in that tax, the property tax for LA County, they granted us an additional $3 million for FY 27 and 28. So that's how those things come together. Back to the Measure C, there's another funny way of funding hospitals nationwide, and it's called an intergovernmental transfer, and that's where you all voted to advance us our sales tax approximately, well, we'll just call it $1 million, that you were advancing us about $1 million. And once that money got transferred from the city up to the state would then show the feds that they've got money that isn't other federal money, and the feds would match that money, and then that comes back to the hospital, at which point we owe the city back the amount of the Measure C money that they advanced us. Is there any questions on that from you all at the dais? No? No, okay, good.
And that's to be paid how or when?
Say again?
And so when is that repaid?
If I remember right, we signed that back in May or June, but I think it goes over about a 3-year period off the top of my head.
I think we had it a little shorter than that.
That manages our acute wing. So we have a long-term care wing. that manages our acute wing. So we have a long-term care wing. We have some people that have lived in the hospital for about 8 years, some people just for a handful of months so far, but all 4 of those beds are full. The hospitalist manages the acute part, where somebody is admitted from the ER into the hospital, somebody comes back from the mainland and needs additional care. That's where somebody goes, and it takes a physician full-time to be monitoring that patient. What that means, though, we didn't used to do that, and so we would fly off a lot more patients than we needed to, or that we fly off a lot less because of this new capability. And an example of that, in the last 6 months, we've had 1,344 patient nights just there in the acute wing in the long-term care, where the previous 6 months up to that, it was 646. And by the way, 95% of those patient nights, those are all local people. So, okay. Has nothing to do with cruise ships or visitors. Okay. I meant to tell you that I had 30 minutes that I was going to try and cram into 10. So back in the early part of the planning, back in the early part of the planning, we were at and I know you have to know this stuff, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of questions. Cost-based reimbursement is the critical mechanism that allows a rural hospital with low volumes to be able to afford a capital project. When we started this project of the new hospital, we were at 50% cost-based reimbursement, which gave us the capability to afford a hospital at about $160 million. Then we had one of our insurance payers said, hey, we'll give you cost-based reimbursement on some additional patients, which took us up to 75% cost-based reimbursement, and we would be capable of affording a $220 million building, which I know doesn't make sense, but we got all the pro formas. However, that same organization that thought they could give us cost-based reimbursement on an additional 25% of our patients wasn't able to do that. They did another mechanism to help us, but it was really just operationally, and it wasn't going to contribute towards the affordability of that capital project. On top of that, remember that hospitalist slide a couple slides ago? We're doing all this great, we're able to help out the community a lot more. Well, that actually lowered us down to 40% cost-based reimbursement for the hospital. So now that takes us down to from 75 down to 40%, and the affordability, the size of the project now is in the $100 to $110 million range. And just to give you a sense, every 1% drop in our payer mix from cost-based reimbursement to some other payer, whether that be commercial or Medi-Cal, lowers the size of our capital project by $3.5 million. So when we went from 75% cost-based reimbursement down to 40%, we dropped, whatever it says up there, $122 million of project size. So what that means is we are now relooking at what we're doing at Quail Canyon. Quail Canyon was 70,000 square feet. It was going to have lots of additional things in there, operating rooms. The clinic was going to be in there. There was going to be 12 one-bedroom apartments. But it was at $224 million. Well, we can't afford that. So we've gone through the process now. We've got it down to 37,000 square feet, 2-story building, no helipad, no clinic up there. The housing units have gone away, and it's still over budget. So we're still trying to work on that. The other option, I was on the phone with Jeff Rusak, and he said, well, hey, what about that triangle? Jeff Rusak, the CEO of the Island Company, what about the vacant lot across the street from the hospital? So we are starting to take a look at that, and we feel like there's a good path forward because I really don't want the clinic to stay in the old building and the new acute wing to be up at Quail. So I feel like it's going to be a much better outcome if we have the acute wing of the hospital, the part that has to be seismically compliant, which is the ER, radiology, lab, the acute beds where the hospitalist takes care of all those folks. Even the kitchen has to be seismically compliant. Anyway, so we're looking at plans right there. We anticipate bringing all of that to the Island Company in the first part of the year, so they can tell us which piece of property is going to work for them. But we will build a hospital, and it will have all those critical care capacities there that are required, and I think it's going to work out well. I'm pretty good. Any questions on that? I realize I should have.
We're following you.
The next slide is just fun. Our building company said, hey, it's pretty interesting. We've never seen another company or another hospital that has patients they have to bill that far away from their hospital across the country. So when they pull up other hospitals, the dots are a lot closer aligned to where the hospital is actually sitting. So anyway, that's it.
Do you have any questions? This is good. I believe this is what the community wants to hear. So I really appreciate you putting this together. We all appreciate that. Yeah. Well, good luck on I talked about that space a long time ago, so I'm glad that might be a possibility. That would be great if it's so close. Everything is so close. That would be fantastic. But whatever we can do in that regard, more than happy to help.
I'm confident.
Comments or questions?
My only question is just on the cost of mitigation for the land that's there.
There were the hospital, the school, somebody did some boring surveys, not only on the school's property that they're using. Obviously, the first thing we would do is get in there and have some folks go in and do additional boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's already being planned.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. See you in 60 days.
Yes, thank you so much. That was very informative. Okay, oral communication. This is an opportunity for people to speak on items that are not on the agenda. You will be limited to 2 minutes and no action will be taken. I believe all of the council here received probably all 42 of those emails today, most of them late, so I'm sorry if I didn't respond to say I received it, but we all received them.
Or more after the meeting started too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know that's going to be part of the discussion, but let's take Paul here first, because he's always entertains us and sheds
It's going to be
information.
very trivial, don't worry about me. So, thank you, Jim. Really good book, really, really timely and fun. Jim, really good book, really, really timely and fun. Let's see, as we head into December, we're going to, of course, do a lot of holiday things, like we're going to have a build your own gingerbread house. I'm going to do holiday cards with watercolors and little sparkles. Let's see, I'm still looking forward to our after New Year's Eve party on New Year's. For people who really like me, can't stay up late. I don't want to stay up late till midnight, so we'll have a party and celebrate the new year at 2 in the afternoon. We have a visiting artist in very early December, Claudia Hindu, who usually does fashion design. She's going to do some sculpture, some holiday sculpture. And of course, the second and fourth Wednesday of the month, come and join us for our history talk with Chuck Liddell and Sandy Putnam. We're going to be talking about ceramic tiles the next Wednesday. That's going to be really interesting. Ms. Putnam is a huge expert on the subject. Was that my signal?
Oh. That means your time is up.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was the food I ate for lunch. Come visit your library.
Made me jump. I was at the back of the room. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Jim Luchahan from Love Catalina Island. You guys have all done a good job of stealing a lot of my thunder already. You've talked about a bunch of the stuff that were on my notes, but I'll just add a few more details. Regarding Shop Catalina, there's still room for merchants to sign up. We have about 18 merchants who have so far, and we'd like to hit 20 or so to make it a nice turnout for the evening, so you can do that at lovecatalina.com. Also a reminder, we have the annual Holiday Business Decorating Contest. It will be judged one day earlier this year, so you got to have your windows or your storefronts all ship shape on the 5th, so that we're not doing that during the event on the 6th. So my team and I are going to be out doing that judging on the evening of the 5th, and then For the couple of you who were unable to join us at the plaque ceremony for Quantum of the Seas, I stole some fact sheets. I didn't steal them. They were giving them out. Some fact sheets on the boat that I thought I'd share just so that you all are aware of the boat that's visiting us now. Thank you.
Any news on that new position, or not? Too premature?
End of week, I hope.
What's that?
At the end of the week, I hope.
I can't hear. Another week?
At the end of this week, I hope.
All right, thank you. Okay. Okay, anybody else want to talk on something? Okay. All these people are here and nobody wants to talk. That's pretty good.
Hey guys, Mayor, Councilwoman, council members, just wanted to say thank you to all for the support on this grant. We're not in the home run yet, but it seems like we're further than we've ever been on this. So special thanks to you all, also to obviously former Councilwoman Cindy Cassidy, as well as Tam Kilpinski. And I also just wanted to say a lot of thanks to the folks over in Orange County and Huntington Beach that have really gone over and above to support this at the state and with the commission. So thank you all, and fingers crossed for the 18th.
Keep smiling. He's been smiling when I talk to him on the phone. I can hear this big grin, and he gets up there and he doesn't even smile. What's that all about? Okay.
Mayor and Council, Daniel Feltz, local resident. Just wanted to start off to say thank you, Dave and everybody, for your guys' Veterans Day celebration. That was awesome as always. Thank you guys again for the Hungry app and everything you guys are doing for the food bank. It was at a time where we needed it most, and these guys jumped in and made sure, we had what we needed. So it takes a village, and you guys are definitely filling the shoes. I'm here today to discuss the mule deer issue. As you know, I emailed you Friday asking you to reach out to the Department of Fish and Wildlife and formally object like you guys have done for the community members in the past. Essentially, their new restoration management plan and attached SERP application would bypass CEQA requirements, which is an environmental impact report is involved. So I just believe a lot of the residents feel strongly that the mayor and council have an obligation to reach out and just again assert their opposition to this plan. Thank you.
Comments? Come on up, Iris. You are short, yes.
Very. Oh, yeah. I'm glad he talked about the deer situation. And we've been here before, and I don't know how to reach to them. Is any conservancy people tonight here? Are you guys?
Yes.
Conservancy? Okay, good. The deer has been here more than 100 years. So it has developed, they're different than the deer over town. They're unique to the island. So you guys better look. And we're going to fight it. We're going to fight them because, and I heard from Fairview, I'm not saying the Conservancy is doing, but there is hunting inside of the city limits. When I call the proper, because I want to jump in my Jeep, but I'm not going to jump in there and go and confront people with guns that are not supposed to be there. And when I call the station until it's a fire, it's a golf car firing, and that sounds like shots, blah. I used to hunt. I can't do it anymore. I just don't have the heart. But I know the sound, and it goes from a 22 to sometimes a 45, and it just echoes. We got a lot of people, not just that it's illegal. I see them driving, and the places where regular people don't drive. You need special key to get to those gates. So number one, I'm really concerned about how dangerous it is. And number two, there is no hunting inside of the city limits, and it's for a good reason. And I would love to, somebody do something, because they are the Conservancy, they are not gods. They should conserve and not destroy. All the stuff that they say is not true. And for being so smart, and they have a lot of the the degrees, and doctor degrees up.
And your 2 minutes is up. Thank you for your comments.
Yeah, but please, you guys consider, okay? Please.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Yes. And there is no hunting in the city of Avalon. There is no hunting in the city of Avalon. Okay, well. Okay, who's next? Because you're all here, so. But let's try not to make things redundant, but if you have something new you would like to add or say, please come up. This is your time.
Hi, good evening, Mayor Marshall, council members, and city manager. My name is Ashley Needleman. I'm a resident here and have been for 3 years. I'm here with my husband, Dennis Needleman. We are familiar with the deer removal plan and have been following it closely for the last 3 years that we've been here. We chose to go to the last 2 meetings that the Conservancy hosted that were conversations. What we learned is that their plan has not changed. Their number is still 0, and we can fight till the end of time about what that number is. I think the majority of our community would agree that the number should not be 0. Our latest concern is when we attended the meetings recently, we learned about their, I'm going to read for just a second because I don't want to misspeak. The leadership was asked from the Conservancy what their plan is if their permit is approved by the state. Do they intend to come into city limits and kill the deer? The answer was yes. They believe that it supersedes local law, and barring any other litigation or whatever comes from that, they will. We asked how that would happen, how it would work practically, and they said they would enter the city property, mostly at nighttime, proceed with their plan to net, bait, and capture and kill the deer through lethal injection and with air guns. So that's what would be happening in our yards, in our backyards. They pointed out that the plan reflects the will of the locals, that they would not shoot the deer using machine guns from helicopters, but instead will use helicopters and hunting dogs to track, net, and execute the deer across the island. History tells us what happens when dogs go wild on the island, which also might have unintended consequences for our Catalina Island fox, our shrews, our other animals. One last thing, I'll agree with everything that Daniel says. There are unintended consequences in the future. There's social media now that could go viral that wasn't around with the sheep and the goats. There will be people on the island filming this, documenting this, and it will get out. And the 1 million residents a year who come here will know about it. The local community will share it, and whoever else happens to want to share that. We have to be concerned about that for our local economy, for our local reputation, and the history of our future on the island. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pastor Lopez, 341 Descanso Avenue. I'm getting close to 80 years on this island. I have a very deep, intimate relationship with the island. I've spent my life crawling around the hills and hiking through the brush tunnels and just enjoying nature and everything that the Great Spirit has given us here. I stand in solidarity with the coalition and every other citizen in our home that wants to not see the slaughter. I think it's repulsive that they're going to bring strangers, put them on our land to slaughter animals, and then they're going to leave. Just like many members of the Conservancy, they're transient. They're going to be gone. We're going to still be here and live with the memories and the knowledge of what happened or what they want to happen. I think maybe Kevin over there, he's probably the only one I know that really, really loves this island and knows the island. You know, the rest of them, I don't see them out there going where I go or other islanders go. Anyway, there's so much more to this. The first time they brought the dogs, I knew Stan Escobar. He used to hang out with us at Little Harbor. His dogs ran everywhere. The next thing you know, the fox are dying. The second group of dogs, when I questioned them about killing only the animals that they're trained to kill or track. When I was out in the hills, those people would tell me, keep your dog in the truck, our dogs will tear him up. So that goes against everything they said about specifically going after the pigs or the goats. You know, they'll go after anything after they're out there hunting for a while. Their ancient instinct kicks in. Anything that runs, a squirrel, a fox, a bird, whatever, they'll go after it. Anyway, there's so many things that can happen. These people are supposed to be intelligent. They can come up with a better plan. Anyways, they shouldn't be allowed to come into our valley. This is our home. Leave our animals alone. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Going once? Going twice? We're done? Thank you. Now stick around for the rest of our exciting meeting. I know you're not going to go home and turn it on, so you might as well stay here where it's warm. Okay, thank you all. Oh, consent calendar. This is the fun stuff. Come on, consent.
Hi.
Oh, well.
We'll give them a minute to leave.
Okay.
Thank you, Council. Consent calendar, item number 1, approval of the minutes from the November 4th, 2025 regular City Council meeting. Item 2, approve warrants, the disbursements for October 27th, 2025 through November 7th, 2025, totaling $897,774.94. Item 3, adopt a resolution approving the City of Avalon Fire Department to enter into the Volunteer Fire Assistance Grant with the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection in the amount of $11,489.82. Item 4, authorize the Finance Director to initiate the revocation process for licenses having violated the Avalon Municipal Code as outlined in Section 3-1.116, and direct City staff to schedule a public hearing for the license E to appear before City Council at a future date. Item 5, adopt a resolution approving a new classification and job description for the Senior Harbor Operations Assistant.
Do you have any questions?
Should we pull item 1? I had not had a chance to review the minutes from the first meeting, so is it okay to pull item 1 separately and abstain from that for me?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll move to approve items 2 through 5 on consent.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Call for the vote.
Councilmember Ponce? There we go. All ayes.
Would you like to make a motion on item 1?
I'll make a motion to approve item 1.
Second.
I'll second.
Call for the vote.
Four ayes, one abstention. Councilmember LaBelle?
Excellent. Okay. General business?
General business, item number 6, award a contract for Geologic Associates for the final design, engineering, construction bid documents for the Pebbly Beach landfill site life optimization project. Jocelyn.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, Jocelyn Francis, Assistant City Manager. I thought for sure they all wanted to learn about the Pebbly Beach landfill project.
Yeah.
I figured, in addition to asking for your approval to award a contract with Geologic and Associates, I figure I'd give you a little bit of an update on where we're at with the project. Can you see the presentation? Oh, okay, there you go.
There we go.
All right, you know, I have my standard background slide here. It's in the city, or the city owns it rather, but it's in an unincorporated area of Los Angeles County, covers 7.7 acres. We have less than 2 years of life at this point. The solution that we're moving forward with is a vertical extension by constructing a 20-foot mechanically stabilized earth wall, or an MSE wall. That would give an additional 25 plus years of life, considering current usage. Our project team for the last couple years includes, of course, the city, CR&R as the operator, GLA, or Geologic and Associates, and Rincon. So there's an example of an MSE wall at a landfill over on the East Coast to kind of give folks a sense of what we're talking about. The MSE wall would be constructed at the toe of the landfill, the existing landfill site. So the idea is to not expand the footprint of the landfill and still maintain that same footprint. So here's the schedule. All the green tasks have been completed. We did the early consultation. We submitted the CUP and CDP permits to LA County Regional Planning. We conducted all of those special studies you see there. We drafted the initial study and mitigated negative declaration, submitted that to the county. We met with sites from LA County Regional Planning and their county biologist on site and gave them a tour of the project site. We presented the project formally to the LA County Integrated Waste Task Force and Facility Subcommittee in August. We received all the county comments from the different departments, and we had an all-hands meeting with LA County Regional Planning, Public Works, Environmental Health, Public Health, and any of those willing or interested in the project. Right now, in progress tasks include revising the draft initial study and mitigated negative declaration to ensure that we address all of the comments and questions that we received out of that all-hands meeting, in addition to comments that we received in writing. We are also working on updating the biological constraints analysis. In addition, awarding, as you can see, it's been slow moving, slow going through LA County, and we don't have a lot of time. So I'm proposing tonight to award a contract with Geologic and Associates. They're familiar with the project site. They've been helping us move this project along, and so I would like to start the final design and engineering and bid documents. So when we get that approval from LA County, we can publish a bit, not have to wait, so you get what I'm saying. Okay, so after tonight, we'll continue on with a variety of tasks, including coordination with the CTAC committee, releasing the MND for public review, finalizing the MND and coordinating with all of the conditions of approval through LA County Regional Planning, submitting the project and presenting the project to LA County Regional Planning Commission, and again to the LA County Integrated Waste Management Task Force. And then those final tasks are really overarching tasks that will include a lot more than that, but working on the final engineering, bid documents and contractor award, and then building that MSE wall.
Wow. Just to build a wall, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the recommendation for you tonight is to execute or authorize the city manager, rather, to execute a professional services agreement with Geologic and Associates under a sole source procurement in an amount of not to exceed $278,000. That includes the proposal that's included in the agenda report, plus a 5% contingency. If there's anything that we weren't thinking about or things are taking a little bit longer with the county, we've got some room for error there. And this will assist with the preparation of final design, engineering plans, technical specifications, and bid documents. And David Herrick, he is joining us via Zoom. He is with GLA. He came here in 2023 and presented to City Council, so he's available if you have any questions on the project or what he's proposing.
Any questions?
The 2030 is a time that you said room for error just in case, or could there be another timeline shift?
Yeah, so what we've proposed with the project is to do it in 3 phases, so we can still operate the landfill, and it wouldn't impact operations, right? In addition, it'll help us from a monetary standpoint, save up a little bit of money, and every couple years build that additional area of the wall. So I'm super optimistic, And by the end of 2026, I would love to have broken ground and start building that first phase of the project. It's contingent on approvals with the county, but they understand the necessity and the time constraints that we're dealing with. So,
Okay, council?
I'll make a motion to authorize the city manager to execute a professional services agreement with Geologic Associates, GLA, under a sole source procurement pursuant to Avalon Municipal Code 3-4.111C for an amount of not to exceed $278,000 for the preparation of the final design, engineering plans, technical specifications, and bid documents for the Pebbley Beach landfill site life optimization project.
Is there a second? Okay, moved in second. Call for the vote.
All ayes.
I want a new button.
Item number 7.
Item number 7, approval of professional services agreement with West Coast Arborist for tree trimming. Jacqueline Cordero.
Hi, good evening. I'm bringing you the West Coast Arborist annual tree trimming agreement. Normally, every year, what we do is piggyback off Island Company and their agreement, bringing West Coast over every year. We share costs in barging equipment over and hauling, and also for staging of all of that equipment. This year, however, they're doing their annual tree trimming January, February, which is late, extremely late for us. As it is, it's extremely late for us now. Usually we do this in October, early November. So with that, we had to go through the procurement process, 3 bids. And as you can see, 2 of those bids, one declined, Davy, which has a sole source with Edison, and the second, they said it was too short timing. They're working with Island Company, so they are trying to put all their resources together for that. West Coast gave us a bid. We're going to do our annual tree trimming in Front Street and all through town, as well extensive work at the cemetery. Any questions?
Questions? No? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that per the city's procurement policy, authorize the city manager or designee to execute an agreement with West Coast Arborist Incorporated to provide professional services for tree trimming within the city of Avalon, and 2, authorize the city manager or designee to execute a budget adjustment transferring $25,000 from the storm damage account fund, which is 10250-5701, to the tree trimming service account fund 10250-5125, with the remaining $5,000 to be funded from the cemetery maintenance of premises account fund 13350-5700, for a total contract amount not to exceed $130,000.
Second.
Moved in second and call for the vote.
All ayes.
All right, thank you. Okay. Item number 8.
Item number 8, we are requesting council to adopt a resolution for a memorandum of understanding between the City of Avalon and the Avalon Harbor Employees, SEIU Local 721, for the contract period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. So this request is, as council understands, that previous MOU with the Harbor Unit expired June 30th, 2025. Since early July through last week, we've been negotiating with SEIU and the Harbor employees that they designate as their representatives for a new contract. And that's what we have before you tonight. This is an agreement. I'm not going to hit all the highlights. They're there in the staff report, but essentially we covered a lot of ground with this agreement. Earlier tonight, Council adopted a senior harbor operations assistant. This is an existing individual, an existing position. We're converting it from a senior administrative assistant to the more, what we feel is a detailed position of what that individual actually does. So it's not adding personnel, but it's a reclassification of somebody that's already there and placing that position in with the harbor unit, which it wasn't with the harbor unit before. We've also agreed on minimum staffing levels to our current staffing levels of full-time employees, modified the education reimbursement. We felt that it was appropriate that if there's education funds left over on an annual basis that were not used by full-time employees, to open them up for part-time employees. Our part-time harbor employees are a critical part of what they do down there. So that's positive. Same thing with extending the part-time harbor patrol officers that work at least 500 hours a year, one commuter book to fall under, some of the benefits that we offer our full-timers. We established the mobile device stipend at $35 a month, amended the callback language to more suit their needs for different situations that they could be called back, delineated a cost of living at 2.5% for the 3 years of the contract, adopted the wage schedules, which were patterned after the compensation study that we did this past year. I would say that the back and forth on the wages was resolved some time ago. Most of our 4 months of negotiation wasn't necessarily about wages as it was compared about so many of the other quality of life issues that they were looking to do down there. We decreased the vacation time cap from 480 to 360 hours, and also likewise amended the sick time cash out at retirement, putting the city in a little better position that we don't have that unknown when our employees retire, that there's a huge payout, so they met us there. Like I said, the wage schedules were patterned off the comp study, and then the health care, same thing. The health care is standard across all our employees. They adopted the same health care in this agreement, with the exception of we added some opener language that if the health care increases next year or the following year at a rate that's untenable for the employees, we'll come back to the table on that issue only. I would say that do not read that the 4 months that it took to get to this point was necessarily because we were at odds. I found SEIU to be extremely professional. I found the employees that participated to be extremely knowledgeable and defend their positions. Welcome that. I think it makes everybody knowing fully what's in their 30-page contract is great in my opinion. I think we're at that point. I appreciate their efforts and thank them, and they've already voted on this last week and approved it, so I would recommend the same. Questions?
I see we have members of the association or the union here if you wanted to make any comments, but...
They snuck in. I didn't see them.
Okay, if there are no comments, Council?
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution adopting a memorandum of understanding and salary schedules between the City of Avalon and the Avalon Harbor Employees, SEIU Local 721, for the contract period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028.
I'll second.
Call for the vote.
All ayes?
Item number 9.
Item number 9, likewise, is a request for a resolution adopting the memorandum of understanding between the City of Avalon and the Avalon Municipal Employees, SEIU Local 721, for the same contract period, July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. All my comments regarding SEIU apply to this agreement also. We generally, during each of our meetings, tried to split our time between both units when we talked about it, and we would have other employees that would join us for the municipal employees unit. Likewise, in this, we've adopted many of the same issues that we just discussed. I won't repeat those, but differences in this one, we increased the uniform allowance from $1,100 to $1,200, included bilingual pay at the amount of $100 per month for those that both qualify for the bilingual pay and need it, that are in forward-facing positions, interacting with the residents. Some other things, 14-day notification period if employee's schedule changes for any reason, gives the employee the opportunity to prepare for those schedule changes. The similar discussion was held regarding the compensation, and the compensation wage schedules were based upon, primarily based upon the compensation study. We have a 2.5% cost of living built in there. Same health insurance offerings that were before the Harbor unit, with the same opener language for this group. So, any questions?
I just have a question. Is there going to be retro on any of this?
Yes. So there's the retro, the wages go back to, all the contracts refer to the changes in the wages is the first full pay period in July, so the retro goes back to the first full pay period in July of 2025.
Okay, excellent. Council?
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution adopting a memorandum of understanding and salary schedules between the City of Avalon and the Avalon Municipal Employees SEIU Local 721 for the contract period July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2028.
Second.
Sounded, I don't care.
Councilmember, was that Councilmember Schickling?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Call for the vote.
All ayes.
On behalf of the City Council, we would like to wish everyone a safe, fun, and fattening, thank you, Thanksgiving. All right.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Night, Tony. Meeting adjourned.